Yeah, we are.
Anyways, yeah, sorry about that for any of our live viewers. We are live in the studio today. It is the 16th of March, and we are the Sports Fans. My name is Kellen Hansen, otherwise known as the Crimson Comet.
My name is Brady Fulmer, otherwise known as Lazy Snake.
My name is Prison Mike, otherwise known as the winner of this year's bracket challenge.
Wow, that's confident. I'm
Bag.
Jason Call, the bearded wonder, and the real winner of this year's bracket challenge.
There's so much confidence there, Mike. I loved that. That was refreshing, my friend.
Wow. We will see, Mike. We will see.
I wish you were more confident in your Boston Celtics, who were just defeated by the Utah Jazz again.
They were defeated, sadly. Celtics just aren't going to be able to hang with the top teams in the league this year.
No.
But it was.
The Jazz
I do
were
feel like it was better than the last game they had against. I didn't get to watch it, but
They were closer.
Yeah. Well, Mike this time didn't make any bets, so he's not going to have to eat a spoonful of hot sauce. But
That is
let's
nice.
jump right into it, guys. There's been a lot that went on over the weekend. In fact, we've kind of been talking about, our worries of not getting through the show like we want to. But I think we're just going to have to be as concise as possible. And we're going to talk about, first of all, NFL. We're going to talk about one of the all-time greats, Drew Brees. Unless you live under a rock, you probably already know Drew Brees has announced his retirement from the New Orleans Saints organization, and he will no longer be playing. What are your guys' thoughts on Drew Brees' retirement, and how do things look for the Saints going forward? Specifically at the quarterback position. Why don't we start off with Jason?
Well, first, Drew Brees retiring. It's sad that it's official now, but we kind of saw it coming. Let's be honest. They given Taysom Hill this new contract. Actually freed up salary cap space for them. I hope they give him another shot, but I don't think they will. But I don't think they want Jameis Winston either. So I'm kind of thinking they might try to go get another quarterback in the offseason, if that's what we're talking about, the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah. Brady, your thoughts?
Yeah, so as far as Drew Brees retiring, I think that it's time. I think everyone could kind of see that it was time for Drew Brees to retire as much of a legend as he is. Definitely time. And as far as the quarterback situation for the Saints, it's still very much up in the air. They gave Taysom Hill they restructured Taysom Hill's contract, giving him $140 million over 4 years. So a lot of people were taking that as he's going to be the starting quarterback. And then right as people kind of started leaning, they just re-signed Jameis Winston. So we'll see what happens. But I wouldn't rule out what Jason said. I think they still could go try to get someone either in the draft or free agency. I don't know if Jameis Winston or Taysom Hill is a permanent answer at quarterback for the Saints.
Yeah. Mike?
So to start off with, I agree with you guys. We all kind of saw Drew Brees retiring, like we knew that was coming. But I actually want to say I really liked the way that he announced his retirement. I thought it was cute having his kids do it. So shout out to them. I thought that was fun. And then I just pretty much agree with what Jason and Brady said on the quarterback situation in New Orleans. I think there's so much time until the season still that there's a lot of things that could happen.
Yeah.
So to kind of build on this conversation a little bit, Kellen, I did read an article today, and it was kind of just a fan article saying, if I'm Taysom Hill, I'm calling John Beck, and I'm going to work with him the whole offseason, trying to rebuild my throwing motion and just trying to be that guy. They're both BYU quarterbacks. There might be a good connection there. If I'm Taysom, I'm looking at this as an opportunity. They're having a quarterback competition right now. And if he can show he's improved in a few things in his game, he could potentially win the spot. That's me being hopeful. I don't think he will. It hurts me to say that, but I don't think he will.
Let the record show that Jason made it 5 minutes and 14 seconds without mentioning BYU.
Hey, I had to get it. You guys brought up Taysom Hill. It had to happen.
First of all, just a Drew Brees appreciation comment. First of all, I think we need to. I mean, we've already talked about this, but he is definitely a figure that deserves all the recognition in the world. I mean, he holds multiple NFL records: most passing yards, most career pass completions, consecutive games with the touchdown pass, most touchdowns in a game. I mean, he's a 13-time Pro Bowler, Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl MVP, 2-time NFL Offensive Player of the Year. He's been an All-Pro, 4-time second-team All-Pro. I mean, this guy holds so many records. He's done so much for the game, and so replacing him, you can't really replace that if you're the New Orleans Saints, and that's one thing that people have to understand. Like, you're not gonna, I actually kind of disagree with you guys. I think that Taysom Hill or Jameis Winston will be the starter this season. I don't think they're going to go out and get another quarterback. But I'm not expecting greatness out of those two quarterbacks. Not that I don't think they could do a good job. I think both of them have shown that they've shown flashes of talent. But I just, that is Drew Brees is the greatest player in the history of the New Orleans Saints, and he will be for a long time. I watched a video, or I was watching SportsCenter, and they were debating, is Drew Brees a top 10 quarterback of all time? And I'm like, are you guys stupid? Is this even a discussion? Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, you can make the argument he's a top 5 quarterback of all time. So, looking forward to, to see what this Saints team can do. There's still a lot of talent on this Saints team, though, both on the defensive side of the ball as well as the offensive side of the ball. So, I'm really intrigued to see what happens, but like I said, I do think that Sean Payton feels confident in his quarterback situation right now, and Taysom Hill or Jameis Winston will be the starter this season. But we're going to have to move on because, like I said, we got to get through these topics quick.
I don't know what our next topic is, but I just want to say Taysom Hill got way overpaid.
You know what? They actually saved – I agree with that, but they actually saved money in the cap because they restructured his contract. But as a BYU fan, I can tell you guys, Taysom Hill definitely did get overpaid.
Way overpaid.
I think even Jason's okay with saying that one.
Hey, you know what? I'm happy for him, though. Go Taysom. He doesn't have as many years as the other quarterbacks to make his money, so he's got to do it somehow.
He can actually provide for his family now.
Yeah, I know. Golly, $30 million. What's he going to do with that? Buy a hamburger from McDonald's with this $30 million. Him and Dak Prescott are living in the projects together with $30 million a year. Anyways, we're going to move on to our next topic. This is kind of a story that I didn't actually see this coming, and I'm a little bit perplexed as to why this team would make this investment. But the Chicago Bears have inked a 1-year, $10 million deal with Andy Dalton to bring him in to compete for the quarterback position. And, guys, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know about this one. I want to hear your guys' thoughts, though. We'll start off with Brady on this one.
All right. So I am – I can hear myself echoing. But I'm super happy that Andy Dalton was signed by the Bears. And the reason that I'm happy that the Bears signed Andy Dalton is because they didn't get Russell Wilson, because that was the quarterback that they thought they had a possibility of getting was Russell Wilson. And as a Minnesota Vikings, I'd much rather see Andy Dalton and Mitch Trubisky fighting over the quarterback job than Russell Wilson dominating the NFC. So I agree with you, Kellen. I don't think it's a very good signing. I don't think Andy Dalton's a terrible quarterback, but I don't think he's a quarterback you want starting for your team. So I don't really like the signing by Chicago, if speaking from a Bears standpoint.
Yeah. Jason?
So I kind of look at this and I look at Andy Dalton, and he was a great quarterback a couple years ago. I wouldn't say he was one of the best, but he was pretty good. I look at him as a great backup quarterback, and Mitch Trubisky's been having some health problems the last couple seasons. Has he made it through a full season in like the last 3 years? So I almost look at that as an investment of, hey, just in case Mitch goes down, we've at least got someone solid behind him. And that's what I look at this deal as.
Yeah. Mike?
Just so I'm remembering right, Andy Dalton was on the Cowboys this past year, correct?
Yeah. Come on. He was 4 spots ahead of you on the depth chart, Mike.
Yeah, when I was down there, I actually almost beat him out of the starting position, but he got me. He cheap shotted me, and I couldn't practice that day.
Freaking Andy Dalton. No respect for that guy.
But I don't have too much to say about him. I feel like I won't say his better years were behind him, but I definitely will agree with you guys that he was more productive a few seasons ago. So I really don't know what the Bears – but the Bears have been bad for a while, so why not get someone else bad on the team?
I just want to say, I don't think Andy Dalton was ever a great quarterback. I think he was an okay quarterback for a while. But I also think it's funny, the statement that Chicago said was Chicago made a very aggressive pursuit of Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson, but the Bears were told that Seattle is not trading him at this point. So basically, they were like, "We want Russell Wilson," and then Seattle's like, "No." So they're like, "All right, I guess we'll take the ginger in Dallas. We'll take Andy Dalton. Anything's better than Trubisky at this point, I think."
I was waiting to see how long he would go before he made a red hair joke.
Well,
I've almost made a couple. So
that's the thing, though, is Andy Dalton, man, nothing against him. I'm sure he's a great person. I'm sure he's a marvelous human being. But if that's your answer in Chicago, then I don't think you're on the right track. As far as that goes, I don't really see that working out for him too well. But wish him nothing but the best. I'm glad for Brady. I'm happy that he feels confident in this. So
I do have to say, between Taysom Hill's agent and Andy Dalton's agent, if I ever make it big, I need both those guys' phone numbers, because their agents know what they're doing.
Yeah, they do. Okay, we're gonna move on. Just some announcements with other free agents, because there's a lot of stuff. So Rob Gronkowski re-signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think that was a 1-year, correct me if I'm wrong, $10 million deal to bring him back. I don't think anyone really saw that as a surprise. And then this is kind of a big story, kind of big deal. The Texans just added Tyrod Taylor on a 1-year deal. I'm not sure what that's all about, but I think maybe they're not as confident in Watson coming back as they wish they could be. But this is a story I actually really do want to talk about, and that is about arguably one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, a man who is known for his ability to work magic on the football field, and that is our boy, Ryan Fitzpatrick. Brady, why don't you fill us in on the details?
yes, so Ryan Fitzmagic, has signed a deal with the Washington football team, and I'll just say this first. I feel like Ryan Fitzpatrick is the only person I know that has a more impressive beard than Jason.
Yeah.
So, that out there, you're coming in a second, but don't.
It's true.
Whoa.
It's
What? Because of that, I'm going to grow it out so you can see. I've just been sparing you from my awesomeness for this long. Give me about
Dude,
a month. I'll be nice.
Fitzpatrick can't even do up his chin guard, man. He can't even do up his chin guard.
Just like flops around.
See, this is the refined Jason's beard. If I just let it go, like I'm afraid for the world at that point because it just couldn't handle it.
You know, that's a Manchester right there. I want to see you do it.
Let's
I'm
see
thinking about it.
I'm calling you out.
Trying to see the repercussions of doing this because I work in food service. Remember?
Well, you can
That's
buy a
not-
hairnet for your beard.
Yeah,
I
I'm not.
refuse to eat at your restaurant if you have a big beard.
You what?
I would refuse to eat at your restaurant if you had a big beard.
Thanks,
See,
Mike.
here's the thing, though.
That's what I'm
I
talking
feel like
about.
you work at a barbecue truck, though. Like barbecue, I feel like having a beard is kind of like a requirement.
Well,
The bigger the beard, I feel like if I see a dude who has a big beard and he owns a barbecue restaurant, I have more confidence in him.
That's so accurate.
Oh, Kellen. Oh,
I feel like name one barbecue master that doesn't have a beard, right?
you want me to?
No. Anyways, back
I was
to
going to
this.
say, Kellen, name a barbecue master.
Bam Bam.
There you go.
Cameron True,
Sorry.
he doesn't have a beard.
Okay. Brady,
gotta
anyways,
start.
back
That's
to
my
the
bad.
story. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Back to
I
Fitzpatrick.
personally think that it's a great pickup for the Washington football team. I think that it's definitely an answer for this season as far as their starting quarterback. Patrick is pretty old, so I don't think it's a very long-term thing there in Washington. But I feel like it gives them time to at least maybe draft someone and develop him under Frick. But I think it's a great pickup. This is my favorite pickup in free agency so far is this Fitzpatrick Washington football team.
Yeah, I
What do you
agree
guys
with you, Jay. Or I agree with you, Brady. Like, if I'm being honest, I look at this roster and obviously Heineke's a stud. Like, I really like that guy, and I wish him nothing but the best. But I look at Ryan Fitzpatrick as a dude who, first of all, and this isn't me hating against Tua, he never should have lost his starting spot. I feel like the Miami Dolphins were a better football team when Ryan Fitzpatrick was on the field. And I think he has a very high IQ for a quarterback. And I just think he's so like marketable, in my opinion. Like he's a great person to have in terms of, you know, the fan base and what he brings to the table. So I really like this pickup, man. And Washington made the playoffs last year. I think he's gonna make them better if he's the starting quarterback. So tell you what, I'm kind of buying into this Fitzmagic hype, dude. Like, I think Washington will be a better football team.
Agreed.
Jason?
Good for Fitzpatrick. I'm just having a hard time with the Washington football team right now, to be honest. Like, I'm kind of putting them out of my mind in as if they exist, because they're doing some things that are just a little weird for me. But you know what? I hope he tears it up over there. You know, I felt bad. I felt he got a raw deal in Miami with kind of getting pushed out a little bit and didn't really. I don't know. I kind of felt he had an opportunity to show he could win and didn't get it. So maybe he gets it in Washington. I hope that it works for him.
Mike?
I don't have too much more to say. I agree with you guys. I feel like he's a good pickup for the Washington football team, and that's about all that I got to say. I was just trying to look because I swear I saw an article that also said, or something on the news a while ago that said Ryan Fitzpatrick also lives in like a mobile trailer home. And I thought that was pretty legit. Like, the dude has a big beard and he lives in a trailer park.
Probably does.
But I can't verify that that's true.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm
And
gonna
you
go
know,
with
if it
I don't
doesn't
know
work
about
out for
that.
him being a quarterback, he can always just join the cheer squad. I don't even know what they call that unit now. The dancers. He can just be one of their dancers now.
Only if you go join them too.
Yeah.
I will say this.
No
I don't
one
know
wants to
why,
be
but
that.
when I look at Ryan Fitzpatrick, I'm like, dude, I'll bet you that guy knows how to barbecue so well. Like, I'll bet you his ability to smoke meat on a Traeger is just like out of this world. It's the beard.
So Kellen, you're treading thin ice, my friend.
I just want you to grow your beard out, man. I just really want to see it.
Well, you're treading thin ice. Like I will cut you off.
Don't do that.
Jason, if
do
it
that.
makes you feel any better, I'll grow out mine with you. I've been growing mine out for a week.
Yeah, there you go, Mike. No, I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna have to just leave it the same length for at least the summer. Maybe this fall when we close the bear pit down. Maybe we'll see. We'll see how we're feeling then.
We will see. Anyways, we're gonna move on to the NBA, and we are going to talk about a guy that we talk about a lot, and that is because he's really good at the game of basketball, but he's also really good at just making more and more money and like doing things that I'm like, wow, that would be fun to do if I had millions and millions of dollars. Brady, you're pretty acquainted with this story. Why don't you go ahead?
Yeah. So I'm not as acquainted as I would like to be with the story, but I know the general gist of it. James has joined a group that has made him a partial owner of the Boston Red Sox, which are professional athletes like they're playing, buying.
Oh no,
Pretty cool. What's that?
you froze there. You froze, my friend.
Oh,
You there, Brady?
Hello. Yes.
We hear you. We hear you. Oh, we can see and hear you.
Oh, I don't happen. How much did you hear from me about LeBron and the Red Sox?
I
something
heard
about
Red
being
Sox,
part of a group that makes him a part owner of the Red Sox.
and then I
Yes.
heard pretty cool at the end.
Pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, he's a partial owner of the Boston Red Sox now, which I feel professional athletes while they're playing, like buying into and being an owner of another professional sports team. So I think it's pretty cool. If I was a Red Sox player, I think it would be cool to say that LeBron owns the team that I play on, or at least partially
Yeah.
owns.
He also
What do you
owns
guys
2% of Liverpool, which is an English Premier League team. So, Jason,
He's
what are
taking
your
over the
or
world.
Mike? You go. What are your thoughts, Mike?
My thoughts are just when I own an NBA team in Boise, I'll cut you guys 2% of the team, so you can.
Will you?
But
The Boise Spuds.
I don't
no, but
want any of your
I think
Spud
it's
team.
real. You don't want to be a part of it, Brady.
I'm pretty sure that
Not
if
really.
me, Jason, and Brady came to a game, we'd be like 1/5 of the fans in the stadium, man.
That is not true. But to get back on topic. Sorry, I'm going off on tangents tonight. I think it's really smart by LeBron. I feel like this guy is an incredible athlete, but he's also he's a very successful businessman. And so him partially owning Liverpool and now partially owning the Red Sox, he's just investing his money and putting it to good use. I wish I was as brilliant of a businessman and had as much money as he does.
Yeah. I just think it's cool. Like I look at it this way and I'm like, all right, so it's called Fenway Sports Group is what he joined. And 2% of Liverpool. He's a partial owner of the Boston Red Sox, which by the way, those are billion-dollar franchises, guys. Like those are that's a lot of money to be a part of that group. But I look at it this way and I'm like, I think LeBron's gonna own an NBA team someday. Like I look at it, it would not surprise me if he became an owner of a team and kind of followed in the footsteps of what Michael Jordan did with the Hornets. So yeah, I'm not surprised by this move though, just because it seems like LeBron is really proactive when it comes to his investments and trying to find ways outside of the game of basketball to increase his profits. And so I think that I think there'd be a lot more wealth among athletes. I mean, there's obviously a lot of wealth already, but there'd be a lot more wealth if more athletes were this proactive and smart with their investments, like LeBron James. Jason, what are your thoughts?
Look, I like LeBron James as a basketball player, but I don't tend to follow anything he does outside of basketball because, but good for him. Go spend your money. I want to know how much, if one of his accountants or investors was like, "Hey, you should do this," and he's like, "Okay," or if he was like, "Hey, I want to do this," type thing. Like, we don't really get to see the behind the scenes things, and we get to see the moves that LeBron makes. But I mean, he's got a team of financial advisors giving him this advice too, so we can't give him all the credit there. Let's be honest. It's cool. It's cool. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not putting all that praise on LeBron just yet.
Yeah, that's fair, but
I'm a little
I think it's
salty
cool.
at LeBron still because of
The hater.
of the All-Stars. Okay, sorry, I'm a little salty.
That's right.
Oh.
Looks like we lost Kellen.
Oh, he's back.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Our order got switched up. That was a little bit of a technical
disappeared on
difficulty there.
us. Oh, there he is.
A little bit of
On
it.
again.
Who do we got? Awesome.
What do you mean? I think we're ready to move on to the next topic.
Yeah, we are. I'm not going to lie, guys. I'm really excited about this. We live are going to fill out our brackets and do an analysis. We're going to start off this with we're going to go Prison Mike will go first. I will go second. Jason will go third. And Brady will go fourth. Okay. So we're going to start it off with Prison Mike. I'm going to screen share. And so our viewers can see the selections going on. And we're going to start things off with our boy PM. So Prison Mike, we're going to start on the west side of the bracket. What is your pick between Gonzaga versus Norfolk State and Appalachian State?
Obviously, definitely we're going with Appalachian. No, I'm kidding. Gonzaga.
Okay, Gonzaga. All right, Oklahoma versus Missouri. And why are you picking Gonzaga, by the way?
Because they're
5 seconds.
obviously going to win. They're way better than either of those two teams. They're the best team in the country.
All right, Oklahoma and Missouri. Who's your pick?
That is a close one. I'm going to go with Missouri. I don't know too much about the teams, but I've watched a little bit of Oklahoma, and I don't think they're going to go very far.
Okay, Creighton and UC Santa Barbara.
Creighton.
Virginia versus Ohio.
We're going to go with Ohio. I think Virginia is going to have players in quarantine and aren't going to have their full roster.
USC versus Wichita or Drake.
USC.
USC.
They have a dominant big one.
Kansas versus Eastern Washington.
Kansas.
Oregon versus VCU.
I'm going to go with VCU. They kind of went on a roll. I think they won their conference tournament, so I'm going with them. And we'll go with Iowa right here.
All right. Okay, we're going to move on to the East Division. Prison Mike.
Michigan.
Then?
LSU, I don't know much about either of these two teams, so I'm going to go with the 9th seed, St. Bonaventure.
St. Bonaventure. All right.
I'm going to pick Colorado.
Okay.
I know some people are really hyped on Georgetown right now, but I feel like Colorado might go a ways in this tournament.
Okay.
Florida State.
Florida State.
All right, this is the tough question. BYU versus
Jason might not like you very
UCLA.
much.
I'm actually going to pick BYU.
Okay. Cool.
I really do feel like BYU could beat Michigan. I think Michigan State and UCLA are going to beat each other up, and BYU is going to kind of just have the scraps of both of those teams.
Okay.
Then Texas and UConn and Maryland. I'm going to go with UConn, and then Alabama.
Ooh, I like that. All right. Moving to the other side of the bracket. Baylor versus Hartford.
Baylor. North Carolina and Wisconsin. I'm going to go with North Carolina.
Okay.
Villanova and Winthrop. I'm going to go with Winthrop. That's going
I
to be
like that pick.
an upset. Purdue. Texas Tech.
Ooh, okay.
Sorry, Utah State, but I don't think maybe they will, but I don't feel like they'll beat Texas Tech.
right.
Arkansas. Ooh, this is a good one. I'm going to go with Virginia Tech and Ohio State.
Ooh. Okay. And then the Midwest, the last of the first rounds.
Illinois. Loyola Chicago. Loyola Chicago.
Loyola.
Loyola.
Loyola. I can't even pronounce it. Oregon State is going to beat Tennessee.
Ooh.
Oklahoma State. I'm going to go with San Diego State. West Virginia. Clemson. And I don't know. I'm going to go with Cleveland State.
A 15 upsetting a 2. I like that,
It
Mike.
could happen. There's a slim chance. That's probably not accurate, though.
All right.
All right.
Gonzaga, round of 32. Gonzaga, Missouri. Who you got?
Gonzaga.
Creighton versus Ohio.
Ohio.
Ooh, I love that. USC, Kansas.
USC.
Ooh, okay. VCU
Iowa.
or Ohio or Iowa.
Iowa.
Kellen, just
All
finish that. Just finish each region and then move on.
Okay. Who you
Okay,
got?
Ohio's run ends here. Gonzaga. And I'm going to go USC.
Okay, USC.
And
All
then
right, we'll move
Gonzaga.
on to the next region. Who is your East region Elite Eight? So who you got
Michigan.
here? Michigan,
Colorado.
Colorado,
Texas.
Texas,
Alabama.
Alabama. All right. Who you got here in the South region?
Baylor.
Okay.
Purdue. Texas Tech. No, I actually changed that. I'm going to go with Arkansas and Ohio State.
All right.
And
And then
then
the Midwest.
Illinois.
Oh wait, no, we gotta finish that. We gotta get to the Elite Eight. Who you got in this?
Baylor. Ohio State.
Awesome. And then Midwest. All right, what you got?
Illinois. Oklahoma State. West Virginia. Clemson. Oh, shoot. I do not like having West Virginia go that far, but oh well. That's not a good matchup.
All right, we'll go to your Final Four. Who are you picking for your Final Four, Mike?
Okay, Final Four. I'm going to go with Gonzaga, Ohio State, I believe Colorado is going to be Michigan.
Wow.
And who's below that? Alabama.
Alabama.
And
This is the Elite Eight that I'm in now.
Yeah, Alabama's going to the Final Four.
Alabama. All right, what about between Illinois and Oklahoma State? Who you got there?
I'm going to go with Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State.
West Virginia, and Oklahoma State goes to the Final Four.
And then for your Final Four, who you got? So you got
I think I
Gonzaga.
picked those.
So national championship game, who's it going to be?
Gonzaga versus Ohio State, and Ohio State wins.
Ooh. All righty, Mike. I really like that. Really like that. So Mike, it goes on record. Mike is picking the national champions to be the Ohio State Buckeyes. I'm going to go next. Mike will have that uploaded into our group challenge. This will be my bracket, all right? So I'm going to go with my first round from the West region. Gonzaga will win that game handily. I'm going to actually go with Oklahoma. Feel like they kind of had a tough test in the Big 12. A lot of good teams in that conference. I think they're going to match up well against Missouri. I'm going to go with Creighton over UC Santa Barbara. And then I'm actually going to go with Virginia over Ohio in that game. I like their chances. As for USC, they're going to beat Wichita State or Drake. Very athletic team. Was not on purpose. I'll fix that later. And then I'm obviously going to pick Kansas. It's hard to pick against them. Between Oregon and VCU, I'm actually going to agree with Mike. I'm going to go with VCU. I just don't feel like Oregon showed me anything that really impressed me. Then I'm going to go with number 2, Iowa. Iowa Buckeyes there. Or Iowa Hawk. I don't remember. Hawkeyes, whatever. Hawkeyes, yeah. Anyways, and then round of 32 for this region, I'm going to go with Gonzaga, obviously. I'm going to pick Virginia to advance to the Sweet 16. And then I'm going to agree with Mike. I think USC is a very talented team. I see them making it to the Sweet 16 with the Iowa Hawkeyes advancing there. And then we're going to go to the South region, actually. I'm going to go Baylor in the first round, pretty easy. I think Baylor's a good team. Next, I'm going to go with North Carolina over Wisconsin. I feel like North Carolina showed at the end of the season they could play with some really good teams. I'm going to actually go with Winthrop as well. That's my 12-5 that I'm guessing. I just think that Winthrop has a lot of potential. And then I'm going to go with Purdue over North Texas. I'm going to go with Texas Tech over Utah State. I know that some of the Aggie fans are going to be upset, but I'm telling you what, this Texas Tech team is for real. They could be a very dangerous tournament team. Arkansas will get that win over Colgate. I'm going to go with Virginia Tech over Florida and Ohio State. That 10-2 matchup. Between Baylor and North Carolina, I'm telling you what, guys, I am a North Carolina fan, and because I love my father and I don't want him to never invite home, I'm going to go with North Carolina actually upsetting the number 1 Baylor Bears. That will be your first 1 seed upset. And then I'm going to go with Purdue making it to the Sweet 16, beating out Winthrop. I'm going to go with Texas Tech over Arkansas. Like I said, they're dangerous. And Ohio State will advance to the Sweet 16 as well. As for the east side of the bracket, I'm going to go with Michigan, obviously. It's kind of a no-brainer. And then I'm going to agree St. Bonaventure is going to get the 9-8 upset over LSU. I'll tell you what, I like the momentum Georgetown has. I'm telling you what, I know they didn't have the greatest season, but I like the momentum. I'm not going to bet against Patrick Ewing. That's another 12-5 matchup that I'm going to pick. And then I'm going to go with Florida State over UNC Greensboro. Jason, you know I'm going to do it. I got to. BYU is going to advance the round of 32 and play Texas. UConn will lose to Maryland, and then Alabama will beat Iona. For the Midwest, or actually no, Sweet 16. So I'm actually going to go Michigan. It's kind of a no-brainer versus Florida State. I really like this Florida State team, and they've shown how tough they've been throughout the season. And then I'm going to go with BYU over Texas. And I know you're just saying that because you're a BYU fan, but I'll tell you what, this is a BYU team that has size. This is a BYU team that has grit. They've had to play Gonzaga 3 times. They've shown they can compete with them. And I like their chances against Texas. And then I'm going to go with Alabama beating Maryland to go to the Sweet 16, roll tide. I'm going to go Illinois over Drexel, just because I think Illinois is as tough of a team as I've seen this year. I'm going to go with Georgia Tech. I'll tell you why, because I saw them competing in the ACC and what was kind of a down year for the ACC, but I'll tell you what, Georgia Tech has a lot of talent, and they've competed with some good top-quality programs. I'm going to go with Tennessee. I think Oregon State, no offense, I actually think they got lucky by getting to the tournament. I know they got momentum near the end of the year, but I actually like Tennessee in this game. I'm going to go Oklahoma State and then San Diego State over Syracuse with West Virginia advancing. I'm going to go with Clemson beating Rutgers, and I'm going to go with Houston beating Cleveland State. And then Sweet 16, I'm going to go with Illinois will beat Georgia Tech. I think Oklahoma State will beat Tennessee. You'll see West Virginia beat San Diego State. You know what, actually? No, I'm going to go with San Diego. I'm going to go with Virginia. And then I'm going to actually go with Clemson beating Houston, which, might surprise some people. But I like Clemson. And, I that's a gut feeling choice right there, which sometimes I have. Just have a gut feeling. I'm going to pick Gonzaga over Virginia, obviously. And then I'm going to actually pick and I think this is when Iowa shows they're tough. Lucas Garza is an incredible player. I think he gets them to the Elite Eight. As for South region, you know what? I'm going to go with the Purdue Boilermakers on this one. They'll advance. That hurts me. That one hurts me. You know what? Go Tar Heels. I'm picking North Carolina. I think if they can get past Baylor, they can get past Purdue, dang it. So I'm going with North Carolina.
I don't think they're going to get past Baylor.
I was going to say, if they get past Baylor, they better be in the Final Four.
And then I'm actually going to pick Texas Tech to beat Ohio State. I really like this Texas Tech team. I've been high on them all year. As for the East region, I think Michigan gets past Florida State. And I like Alabama over BYU. That hurts me to say a little bit, but I do like that. I think West Virginia gets into the Elite Eight, and I think Illinois gets into the Elite Eight there. Gonzaga will beat Iowa to go to the Final Four. Texas Tech, I'm telling you what, man, Gonzaga, Illinois. But you know what? I've got to do it, and this is because I really respect this program, respect this coach. Time for him to go get a championship. Gonzaga Bulldogs are going to be your national champions this year. Complete the undefeated season, and you're going to see guys like Jalen Suggs and Corey Kispert going to the NBA in the first round after having won an NCAA championship.
No one's ever went undefeated in a season.
1976.
It actually happened?
Yep. There might have been 75, but yep, there was, or 78.
It's been a long time, but it has happened.
Was it in the era of March Madness?
Yes.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Okay, Jason, you are up. Just let the bracket load real quick. Let's hear your picks.
So just a forewarning, I tend to like the upsets, so some people might be a little upset with what I have to say. But just bear with me. I'm not gonna bet against Gonzaga. They're going to advance. You might as well just put them all the way to the Final Four for me, Kellen. Just keep clicking them.
There you go.
Okay. On the next one, I'm gonna take Oklahoma over Missouri. I'm gonna take Creighton, and I'm gonna take Virginia. USC, but I'm going to tell you guys that's going to be a game to watch because Wichita State has tournament experience. They haven't been as good this season, but they may be able to turn it on last minute. That might be an interesting game to see. The next one, go Kansas, and then my gut's telling me to go for Oregon. That is another close game to me, though. And then Iowa takes it over Grand Canyon. If we stay here, I'm going to put Virginia against Gonzaga losing. Then I'm going to put Kansas beating USC. I really like USC. I there are a lot of young guys still. I think Kansas is going to take that one. And then Oregon plays Kansas, but I believe Kansas will beat Oregon to play Gonzaga, and then Gonzaga obviously goes to the Final Four there. Okay.
East
Which one are we
region.
doing? Which one are we doing next? This one? Okay. So
East region.
East region. Let's put Michigan through, LSU through.
LSU.
Uh-huh. And then we'll put let's do Colorado. I'm kind of with Mike on that. I think Colorado is going to pull that one off. And then Florida State, BYU. Obviously, you don't need to ask. You're funny. Hey,
You
and
might
in
as well
fact,
put BYU in the Final Four too.
you're funny. I'm actually BYU is going to go to the Elite Eight this year. I feel like Mark Pope. This is going to be his.
That is so cap.
I felt generous having them win one game.
You just wait.
No,
One time,
that is
the last time BYU's in the tournament, I picked them about 2 rounds past what I thought they'd make it, and it paid off for me. So I'm just riding that train right now. You guys love me, I know. Okay. We're gonna have Texas win their first round game, and then we're gonna have Maryland beating UConn. That's gonna be my first semi-major upset there. And then we're gonna put Bama against BYU. Okay, and then on the top of the bracket, this is going to sound crazy, guys, but looking at this game, I'm actually picking LSU to beat Michigan. Okay? Like I said, I like the upsets, and I feel like Michigan just sometimes they lay an egg in a game, and that's the game they lay their egg. Okay? And I'm going to actually have Florida State playing LSU. It's a weird year, and this East bracket's going to get weird, and then Florida State will play BYU in the Elite Eight. And you guys are going to hate me, but while we're there, you might as well just click BYU going. And hey, if this actually happens, how cool would it be? BYU playing Gonzaga for the 4th time this year.
I'd probably cry if BYU gets into the Final Four. I think I'll cry.
Hey,
all right,
if BYU gets into the Final
not
Four,
gonna have to.
you see this face, it will not go away for 6 months. Okay. Next region.
Oh wait, let me get screen back on. All right.
That is
Sal,
ridiculous.
You zoom in on my
BYU Final Four.
Okay. I'm surprised you guys are sleeping on Baylor. I actually have Baylor going all the way to the Final Four in my bracket. So we'll just let that happen. Okay. I'm going to pick North Carolina to play Baylor. And Jerry, if you're watching, it's nothing against your Tar Heels, but I served my mission in that area. Baylor's from my mission, so I'm going to ride that horse. Let's go Baylor. So Baylor's going to beat North Carolina. The next, I'm going to go Villanova. And then North Texas is actually in my mission too, but I'm not going to pick them. We're going to go Purdue. Okay. Texas Tech. I kind of want to pick Utah State, but I'm going to let Brady do that. I think he might. And then Arkansas. No, you know what? That's going to be my big upset. The biggest upset of my bracket right there is Colgate. They've been in the tournament a few times the past few years. They could pull it off. That's my big gamble. Okay.
Jason's like, yeah, I buy Colgate toothpaste and it works great for me. So their basketball team must be good.
Yeah, there you go. Then we're gonna put Florida through and Ohio State. Okay. Then let's see. I think Villanova is gonna win that game. Okay. Texas Tech beating Colgate and Ohio State playing Texas Tech. Perfect. And then I think I'm going to pick Ohio State beating Texas Tech. and then Baylor's going to the Final Four. Okay. Illinois is winning that one. Loyola Chicago kind of had a run a couple years ago, so I kind of feel like they're on teams' radar a little more than they were when they made that run. So I'm actually going Georgia Tech in that game. Okay. I'm gonna go Tennessee, and then I've been kind of just watching Liberty in the back of my mind. I don't know why. But they've looked pretty impressive this season. They're playing in a no-name conference, but I think they could surprise some people. I'm actually picking them to beat Oklahoma State. Okay. San Diego State's beating the Qs. And then West Virginia, Clemson, and Houston. And then I have Houston beating Clemson. Oh, sorry. And then San Diego State advancing. I don't like San Diego State. As a BYU fan, I don't like them, but I think they're going to pull that off. Tennessee is going to beat Liberty. They're gonna be on a high, just advancing to the 32. So I don't think they'll make it much further than that. And then Illinois beating Georgia Tech. Illinois is going to beat Tennessee. And then on the bottom side of the bracket, I'm going to pick Houston to play Illinois, and Illinois is going to beat Houston. Okay, so my Final Four matchup, I'm going to pick Gonzaga. It's going to hurt to lose 4 times in a year. It will, but it's just inevitable. I'm sorry. And then I've actually got Baylor beating Illinois. And you know what? History, I'd love to see the Gonzaga Bulldogs win the national championship, but I don't think they're going to do it this year. I think they're going to run out of gas playing all these big teams, and I'm going to pick Baylor to take it this year.
Interesting pick.
Wow.
All right. This is our last one, Brady. This is like the finale. I want to see what Brady has to say.
All right. Here we go. You ready?
Oh, I was born ready.
All right. I got Gonzaga with that first one. And then I'm going to Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
And then I'm going UCSB. They're over.
Ooh.
And then I'm going to go with Mike. I'm going with Ohio over Virginia. I'm feeling upset there. I'm high Ohio. And then I'm going to go with USC. And then I'm going to go with Kansas. And then I'm going to go with VCU over Oregon in the next one. And then let's go Iowa. So now the round of 32. I'm going Gonzaga again. Going to have to go with them. And then I'm going Ohio over UCSB. And then I'm going to go with Kansas over USC. And then I'm going Iowa over VCU. All right. Now advancing
go on to the South?
Even more.
Oh,
okay,
you want to go to Final Four? Okay, we'll go to the South.
Yeah, I'll go down to Final Four.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going Gonzaga. They're advancing. And then here I am. I'm going to go with Kansas. And then let's go over to the South.
Okay, we'll go to the South.
Perfect. I'm going to go with Baylor beating Hartford. I think UNC is going to win against Wisconsin. I'm going to go with Villanova. A little bit of 12-5 upset there.
I think 3 or 4 of us picked Winthrop over Villanova, by the way.
It's because
Yeah,
2 of their best
Winthrop's
players
solid.
are hurt.
Winthrop's
And
solid,
Winthrop's,
man.
they only they're in a bad conference, but they only lost 1 game this year. So
They're dangerous.
yeah, they are. Moving on, I'm going to go with Purdue. And despite what everyone thinks, Texas Tech's going to beat Utah State. Or despite what you guys thought I would choose. So I'm going to go Tech there. I think Arkansas is going to win. Next one. Now I'm going to go with Florida over Virginia Tech. And then Ohio State. And then moving on to the next round here. I've got Baylor winning that next round.
Broke my heart a little bit.
I'm sorry. I couldn't go with UNC. Yep. All right. Purdue on the next one. And then I'm going to go with Texas Tech over Arkansas. And then Ohio State over Florida. And then I'll go to the next round. And
you want to go to the Elite Eight?
Yeah. Yep. I'm going to get my Elite Eight picks now. I'm going to go with Purdue beating Baylor.
Ooh.
And then I'm going to go. I've got to go with Ohio State.
Awesome. Next region.
All right. What region we doing? East?
We'll go mid. We can go east.
All right. Perfect. I've got Michigan winning that first game. Then I'm going to go with LSU. And then I've got to go with Georgetown. I really like the 12s over in this tournament.
I like
and
that
then
pick.
I'm going to go with Florida State. They're solid. And then I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to be the one that's going to go with Michigan State over BYU.
Jason, how do you feel about that?
If it doesn't happen, Brady, I'm going to give you crap.
All right, and if it does, I'll give you crap. We got a deal.
Okay, that's fair.
All right. I'm going to go with Texas winning that next round. And then I'm going to go with and then Alabama.
Alabama.
Yeah. All right. Then going into my next picks, I'm going to go with Michigan. And then as much as I want to go, I think I'm going to go FSU. And I'm going to go Texas. And a little bit of an upset here. I'm going to pick UConn over. All right. The round. Go Michigan again. Over Florida State. And then I will go Texas. So there it is over there. All right.
Awesome.
Now to the Midwest. All right. I'm going Illinois. I really like Illinois. And then I'm going Georgia Tech. I really like how Georgia Tech's been playing lately. I'm gonna stick with the 12s over. I like Oregon State over Tennessee. And then I like Oklahoma State over Liberty. Then we got San Diego State over Syracuse, for sure. West Virginia.
You got to pick West Virginia, Brady.
Got a special place part. We're going to go Clemson next round. And then we will go Houston. All right, now up to Illinois advancing. And then Oklahoma State. Then let's go West Virginia. And then Houston. And then the next round, I got Illinois beating Oklahoma State. And Houston beating West Virginia. I want to pick West Virginia, but I can't.
Oh. All right, let's go to your final 4 picks, Brady.
All right. I got to remember who I can. Okay. I'm making the biggest upset here. I'm going with over Gonzaga.
Ooh.
I don't think they're making it.
Okay.
And then I will go Michigan over Texas.
Michigan over Texas. Okay.
Yes. And then I'm going to go. I'm going to have to go with Ohio State in the South region.
Mm-hmm.
And then for Midwest, I got to go Illinois as much as I want to go Houston. All right. And now moving on. I think I got Michigan beating. Michigan's going to beat Kansas. And then Illinois beating Ohio State. And then I've got Illinois winning it all.
Illinois as your champion. That's really interesting. So, yeah, that ends our bracket. We will upload those brackets.
I already did.
We will upload those brackets, and we will be sharing. Guys, we want to have as many people as possible doing this. And just so you know, there's a $25 Amazon gift card on the line for whoever wins. And then we'll also be doing prizes for second and third as well. We're really excited to be able to do this, and obviously, all of us have some similar ideas. Some of us have different ideas. I just have a question for each of you as to why you did what. Jason, I think this is a question everybody's going to know. Do you really think BYU is a Final Four caliber team, or is that just your BYU bias coming out?
Some of it is a little BYU bias, but I do think they have the potential to do it. You look how well they played Gonzaga the last 2 times they played. It's there. They've got a really, really smart coach. Like, if Mark Pope wasn't coaching basketball, he was going to Columbia Medical School before. I mean, he's a smart dude, knows how to game plan. They're going to be a dangerous team in this tournament.
All right. My question now is for Mike. Mike, you actually predicted Ohio State losing to Cleveland State. What went behind that decision? Oh, Houston. What was behind that decision?
So I haven't got to see either of those 2 teams play. And I do know Houston's been doing pretty good, but I feel like they're not in an amazing conference. And it seems like every once in a while a 2 seed gets upset. Brady and I were actually talking about earlier today Duke losing to Lehigh a few years ago, a while ago. I think like 2011 or something like that. And so I just feel like this is a year where a 5 number 2 seed is going to get beat, and I think Houston's going to be the one to get beat.
And then my last question is for Brady. Brady, you're the only one that did not have Gonzaga advancing to the Elite Eight or to the Final Four. Why is that? What was behind that decision?
Ooh. It's just kind of a gut feeling I have, but you guys are probably going to call – actually, you are all going to really hate this, but I feel like that last game that BYU played against Gonzaga, I feel like Gonzaga is as good as I thought that they were. And that might come off as hate towards BYU. I do think BYU is a good team, but I feel like Gonzaga is beatable after watching that game.
It did take him 3 tries to get that far, and we got to remember that.
That's true, but I still think Gonzaga is beatable. You know, they're not in the greatest conference either, so I feel like they're going to be a lot more tested during this tournament than they ever were in the regular.
Just some details on the bracket, guys, before we go too far, Kellen. You can actually submit 2 brackets in our group per person. So if you want to go in and fill out your fantasy bracket of what you hope is going to happen, go for it. And then if you want to go put a more serious one in, you know, that's why I set it up for you to submit 2 brackets. So feel free to do that. And then I'm going to leave the link for our bracket in the comments of our YouTube video, so you can find it there as well.
Perfect. Yeah. So obviously, we're looking forward to seeing your guys' submissions. Please join in. We would love it if you guys could be a part of that. So we're actually going to sign off with our C-squared moment of the day. We're going to go back to a guy that for a while was the number 1 sharer, and we kind of cut him off for a bit. But we're going to let Jason go first. What is your C-squared moment of the day, Jace?
So my C-squared moment of the day has to do with my job. I am a chef/pitmaster, and I've been catering for this group. You laugh. I actually have a diploma. I can show.
No, he does. It's just the way you said it. I am a chef/pitmaster.
I am a
man of many talents.
A man of many talents. No, I was kidding. But I'm working for this group of guys out of the Midwest that are really cool. I've cooked for them for 3 years now, and they're just really cool people, very complimentary, and they just make me feel good. So shout out to Jacob, Mom, and Moms Go West. Thanks for being so supportive of the Bear Pit Barbecue, and look forward to feeding you the next couple nights.
Subscribe to our channel, Jacob Mom.
Please do.
And by the way, I can vouch for Jason. His credentials, his barbecue is absolutely phenomenal. So I can vouch for that one.
As you can tell, I just got home before we jumped on. That's why I'm all bear pitted up right now.
All right, we're gonna go with Mike next.
Good. I'm glad I got it because the next time we do the podcast, we will be officially in March Madness on Thursday. I'm really excited. The playing games are on Thursday. Should be a really fun tournament. Hopefully I'll get to watch some of it.
Do you say hopefully you'll get to watch some of it?
Hopefully. I don't have a way to yet.
Mike,
I'll figure it out.
Mike, I'll give you my Hulu sign-in stuff so you can have a way to watch it, okay? I know I said
we can talk about this later. We can talk about it later, but I'm really excited for it.
No, Mike will be able to watch March Madness. Don't worry.
Perfect.
He will.
Brady?
Ooh, my C-squared moment of the day. I'm just gonna go with I'm gonna go with the fact that the Jazz were able to burst their losing streak. I think they lost 4 of their last 6, so they were kind of in a rough spot. And I was really worried against the Celtics. I was worried that they were in danger of dropping out of that number 1 spot. You know, the Suns are coming pretty close to them, but then they were able to pull it together. Rudy Gobert, for those of you that said he's overpaid, you guys can see he made all the difference tonight, and he does just about every night. So suck it. Rudy Gobert is not overpaid.
Suck it, Rudy Gobert.
No, suck it, Rudy Gobert
Yeah,
hater.
you suck it, Rudy Gobert hater. Sorry, I got confused.
Shaquille O'Neal.
My C-squared moment of the day just has to do with working in the athletic department with Brady. We actually had the opportunity to interview head coach Art Castillo, and we've had an opportunity to work with some of the people in the athletic department. And I just think it's awesome, some of the staff members that Western has. Obviously the whole school, but just particularly in the athletic department, there's a reason why Western's teams are having success this year, and a lot of it has to do with some of the awesome people. So I'm just grateful for the people that we've been able to rub shoulders with. And I was thinking about that today, and so that's my C-squared moment of the day. So we're going to be signing off remember, you have till Thursday to sign up for the brackets. We're going to be sharing the link like crazy. And remember, $25 gift card to Amazon, and it's a free entry. So basically, you're not losing anything by signing up. We do ask that you like and subscribe to our channel, though. So we are going to be signing off. We'll be back on Thursday, I believe, coming to you and talking some March Madness. So signing off, this is Kellen Hansen, otherwise known as the Crimson Comet.
Brady Fulmer, otherwise known as Lazy Snake.
Prison Mike.
And the Bearded Wonder.
And remember, oh,
Hey.
Gee.